Good evening, gentlemen. It's late, but I still wanted to film this video. I have some metal pans in my car that are banging. Yeah, now here we go, easy. Had to do a little aggressive turn, now they're not making any noise anymore. I wanted to film this video because I think it is crucial for guys who are in a relationship and they're not really satisfied with their relationship. They want more, but they also feel like they have something very valuable with that relationship and they don't want to give that up. You know, in life, I've experienced this many times, and I've talked about this with many people who are, some of them much older than me. In life we get challenges, we get problems, until we become the person who can overcome these problems. It's not that someone just randomly makes $1 million, they become the person who is capable of making $1 million. And that takes work, and that takes effort, and it takes sacrifice. The same exact thing is true for relationships. We will get faced with problems in our relationship, honestly, until the end of our life, or until the end of that relationship, or of any of our relationships. A relationship is always something that we can work on, always something that we can improve. And I'm not saying that to make it sound like a relationship is always bad or something. No, honestly, even just being in a relationship, you've already made more progress. There's the metal pans again. Let me see. There we go. I really shouldn't do this. The camera is not as secure as I think it might be. Might have also fallen off by me doing that, right? Didn't, thankfully. No, but what I wanted to say is, we get faced with challenges until we overcome those challenges, or simply put, we become the person who can deal with these challenges in the future, right? Because that's the thing. Challenges will always continue being in a relationship, and even when we've overcome a challenge, it will still be there. We will just have become the person who is now capable of handling this challenge without being stressed about it, right? And this goes for everything. If you start working out, the first times, man, you do like 5 pull-ups and you're sore like hell the next day. And after a certain amount of time, you do the same amount of pull-ups, it's the same challenge, but you improve, you get better with handling these pull-ups. Your technique improves, your execution of those pull-ups improves, but also your strength and your intermuscular and also intramuscular, not sure if that's the exact wording in English, it's just German sports science, right, that I learned, where there's intermuscular things and intramuscular, meaning in one muscle, or coordination between different muscles. Doesn't really matter, but the thing is, you improve, right? You get better, your strength becomes better, and that's why you are able to now handle the challenge that previously was difficult for you to handle, right? And the same thing is true for relationships. So at the end of the day, I am a very firm believer that if we go and we say, you know what, this relationship is good, this is a woman I would want to be with in the future, there are just these small, or maybe also bigger, 2, 3, 4 things that I'm not satisfied with. I'm a firm believer, and my experience has proved my point here, that we shouldn't give up on that relationship. Instead, we should really try to figure it out, and not only because it will help this relationship and help us in that relationship and help our woman and maybe our children or future children in that relationship, but also because if we get out of that relationship because we think, oh, you know what, this other woman sounds good, or being single sounds good for a while, right? If we do that, we won't learn the lesson. We will not overcome the challenge. And so the challenge will arise again. So we can learn that lessons. This is the thing. Everything, and I firmly believe this, yes, it's hard to be conscious of that all the time, but I firmly believe this. every single challenge that we get in life, every single pain, every suffering is given to us. It's not forced upon us to make us suffer. It's given to us. And I'm not religious. I'm just like, by the world, by the universe, by God, whatever you want to name it, right? It's given to us by life in my current understanding or current opinion. It's not really understanding because there's no facts, just opinion. It's been given to us to the world by... What the fuck? It's been given to us by the world so we can become a better person through overcoming this challenge. That's what I believe in. And this mindset, of course, has served me well, because then if I consciously think about it, which I don't do every time, but most of the times I do when a challenge comes up, I'm like, you know what? This is good. This has been given to me so I can grow, because without suffering, without challenges, we don't grow. There's this guy that I take a lot of inspiration from, and that other people have taken a lot of inspiration from as well. He's called David Deida. He wrote a number of books. The most famous one is The Way of the Superior Man. And in that, I think it was in that book, he said, the feminine grows by praise, the masculine grows by challenge. Now, I'm not the guy who's just black and white, men are masculine, women are feminine. That's not the truth. Both of us, or every single human, has both of these sides in them. With some, they're balanced by essence, some are more masculine, some are more feminine, right? But the masculine grows by challenge. The masculine needs something to face, some problem to solve, something where it can feel useful and needed, right? And so if we get, I don't want to say distracted, but I think it's the best word that I can think of the top of my head here. English is not my native language, right? I'm from Germany, but yeah, if we get distracted from other women or from friends saying how much they enjoy being single and just sleeping around, right? What that is at the end of the day is the entrepreneur Sam Ovens, who I've looked up to for years. He called it shiny object syndrome. And I don't think he's the guy who coined this term, but from him I know it, right? Shiny object syndrome. We think that the grass is greener on the other side, even though consciously we know it's not. We know that, and this has another entrepreneur has said this, Alex Hormozy, the grass is greener on the other side because it's stained with shit. It's true. The grass is greener because there's a lot of shit, and grass grows well in shit, right? So the grass seems greener, but when you step on it, you step into shit. And I think that puts it very well. Of course, if you have a relationship that's unacceptable, that's not doable for you, where you are, where you don't feel respected or you don't feel like a human being in that relationship, well then get the fuck out of that relationship. I'll be completely honest, and I'll be quite frank about that. There are people who think, oh no, maybe I'll try, maybe I'll do this, maybe I can fix her. Oh. You can't fix her. The only thing you can do is fix yourself and affect her through that. But you cannot fix or even affect, or like affect, yes, but change another person. That doesn't work, bro. Doesn't work. So at the end of the day, with this shiny object syndrome, what happens is we shy away from the challenge. We think, the grass might be green on this other side because, my sex life isn't going great. Instead of figuring out how we can make our sex life great, what most people do, and I hope this is not you, they're just like, you know what, this other woman, she seems like she has a high sex drive, and she seems this, and she seems that. And yes, for a year or two, it might be great with that woman, but after that, you notice, actually, I just never really learned how to build a good relationship. I just never really learned how to keep a polarity and attraction up in a relationship. And so now I'm in that position again. This is exactly what I mentioned earlier. Life continues giving us these challenges so we can learn from them, so we can learn the lessons. And I mean, I talked about this in the last video as well, right? Or second to last video about Hamza, big YouTuber who recently got out of his relationship, and I believe it was too early, but I don't know all the facts. I mentioned all that in that video, I won't say it again. You can watch that video if you're interested on my take on this whole thing. But at the end of the day, the great thing is when we figure out how to build a great relationship, and Hamza is quite certainly further than most men in that, what happens is, and this has happened to me in my relationship, I haven't even mentioned my relationship in this video because I didn't think it was necessary, but I'm in an almost 5.5 year relationship at this point, and I'm 22 years old. First relationship I've ever been in, and because I've continued evolving and continued learning, I made it work, and not only made it work, but made it thrive with my woman. And the thing is, when you get to that point, you have a partner that pushes you, that empowers you, and that helps you go further in life than you could on your own. And Hamza is actually a great example of this. Look at where Hamza was before this relationship, and look at where he's now after that relationship. He has 20x'd his success, maybe even more. Not just monetarily, but also how well known he is, right? Like, just the numbers, yes, okay, he's like, what, 5-6x'd his income? But the thing is, there's so much more that comes from that. What he's built in the last year that will benefit him 10, 20, 100 times more in the future, right? Those rewards just keep stacking onto each other. It continues trickling. And I've made this same experience, man. I wouldn't be where I am without my girl. And I wouldn't be where I am without making this relationship work at the end of the day. And now I know this isn't easy. I always talk about this, right? Just improve your relationship. And of course, I give a lot of advice here on this channel. I'm not just the guy who's like, go to the gym, but he doesn't really tell you how to go to the gym, right? I also tell you how to improve your relationship. But the thing is, I can't talk about everything in these videos. And so at the end of the day, if you're the kind of guy who wants to do this, who wants to improve his relationship, who's like, I have a valuable relationship and I want to make it work, but you simply don't know how, but you're the one out of 1,000 guys watching this who's like, you know what, I don't want to continue watching YouTube videos, I want to make this work now, I want to actually make some progress as soon as possible. I don't want to risk my relationship. I had to do this in the past. I didn't have the resources to hire a mentor or something. So I had to watch YouTube videos and read books because I simply couldn't invest in something, right? Other than a few books. And so I had to risk my relationship at the end of the day because it took me years to learn all this stuff. And now I'm at the point where I can help you with this and where I can help you achieve what I've achieved way quicker. And so if you're interested in that, like I said, this isn't for everyone. This is for the 1 out of 1,000 guys who's like, I want to make this work. I don't know how. I don't know quite how. I need some guidance. I need some advice. What you can do is you can book a call with me. It's linked in the description. The call is free, but it's not a free coaching call because my time is limited nowadays. The call is for us to figure out, what are you struggling with? Can I help you with that? And if I can make you an offer and we can see whether we should work together, whether we're a good fit for each other. I'll be honest, with some guys, I'm just like, I could help you, but I honestly don't really want to work with you. That also happens. I'm just being honest because I can choose my clients, right? That's the good thing about entrepreneurship. At the stage where I'm at, I can choose who I work with or who I don't work with. But all of that said, if you're interested, you can book a call. I'll see you in there. And yeah, man, I wish you the best. I hope this video opened your eyes a little bit. Maybe cured you a bit of that shiny object syndrome, thinking the grass is greener on the other side. It's not. You know it. Sometimes we just need to hear this from someone who's gone through it as well, right? And yeah, man, I wish you all the best. I imagine you're not in the best place right now in your relationship. That's why you clicked on this video. I want to let you know I feel for you. I'm hopeful that you'll figure it out. But without action, you won't get there. Life is cause and effect, man. Life is cause and effect. You didn't get into your situation by accident, and you won't get out of it by accident. I wish you all the best. I'll see you soon. Book a call if you want to. Have a good evening, man. I'll see you soon. Bye.